I went to a study years ago. It was a conference taught by the late Dr. Dwight Pryor. And Dr. Pryor was kind of a mentor to me in the Jewish Roots movement. And he began to teach a session at the time on Jesus and Paul. Jesus the rabbi, Paul the Pharisee, and what does that look like? Are they together? Do they contradict? It was a wonderful seminar. I was rooming with a Messianic Jewish rabbi. Now, it was great for me, it was horrible for him. And the reason is this poor guy was kept up all night by questions by me. I would just pepper him with these questions. And a Messianic Jewish rabbi is this. He's a Jewish-born individual who leads a synagogue, but it's a Messianic synagogue. He realizes that Jesus is his Messiah. So he has this wonderful understanding of the Old Testament. And I realized we were going to be friends when, after the first session, Dr. Pryor asked the class a question. He said, does anyone know from Matthew chapter 11, when John the Baptist asked the question to Jesus from prison, are you the coming one, or should we look for someone else? And my roommate raised his hand and he says, I know what that is. That's actually a connection to the Old Testament. It's the one Malachi chapter 3 spoke about as the coming one, but it's also the one in Zechariah chapter 9 as the Lord himself will come. It's a direct connection. I said, who is this guy? Then Dr. Pryor said, does anyone know in Matthew chapter 3, when it says in verses 15 and 16, the heavens opened up when Jesus was baptized, and the heavens were ripped apart and the Spirit descended like a dove? Does anyone know what that's a connection to? Again, my Jewish Messianic rabbi roommate raises his hand. He says, oh, that's a connection to Ezekiel chapter 1 when it says the Lord himself will rip the heavens apart and appear. So I began to ask him a bunch of questions that night. How do you make these connections from the old and the new? And he said, the problem with you Western Christians, with you American Christians, is that you don't appreciate the New Testament because you don't understand the old. He says, I start with the old and I lead to the new. And that started me, and I hope it continues to start with you. It births in you this passion to know the Jesus of the Bible.